Good morning, Mrs. Kohler's class. Well, today we're doing Module 3, Lesson 31. We are coming into the home stretch of finishing this extremely long division module. Today's I can statement: I can interpret division word problems as either numbers of groups unknown or group size unknown. Those are your only two choices here. Sorry, guys. Once you get that down, we're going to do some quick practice today. We're going to do this three different ways. Normally, we have our one way, which is ones, tens, and hundreds. I'm going to try something new today. Instead of putting ones, tens, and hundreds up here, I'm going to put the number. Then we have a long division method, which we have also been practicing. Oh, that is the wrong number there. And this last and final one will be the area model, where we're going to take 472 and split it into 3 equal groups. Now, let's go ahead and move on. So remember, when we're using the place value model, my brain decided to stop working. We first need to make our 3 groups. Ta-da! 1 group, 2 group, 3 group. Now remember, your groups go like this, where your numbers 2, 7, and 4 go up top. We're going to start with the number 4 and split it up equally amongst these 3 groups. Ready? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Except that's not an equal group, so when we move it next door, 1 dot becomes how many dots? 10 dots. Let me make that look like a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now remember, when we move on to this 7 right here, we have not actually done this 7. We've only done the 4. And I'm going to start off, there's 4 here, there's 3 here, so I'm going to start off my 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, we've got a problem. This and this dot do not make an equal group. So if 1 moves over as 10, 2 must move over as 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And last reminder, when we do this 2, we have not done this 2 yet. We only did the 7. You can put little check marks next to them after you finish them. So I have 7 here, 6 here. Nope. So 7, 7, 6. I'm going to start here. 1, 2. This guy right here, he has nowhere to move over to except for the, what is this place called? The remainder jail. So I'm just going to slide this right on down and write the numbers. 1, because of this. 5. Yep, make sure 7. With a remainder of, Miss Kohler, you are doing an awful job with your numbers today. 1, circle it, send it to the press, it's done. Alright. Next one is same numbers in long division form. Divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down and bring it on back. So, if I count by 3s, how many times can I get it to 4? How many times until I get to 4? 3. Well, 1, because we can't go over. That's divide, multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. And subtract is 1. Bring it on down and bring it on back. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Stop. Because if I go any further, it'd be too high. 5 times 3 is 15. Do a little subtract. Gives me 2. Notice I like to bring my arrows down so I know exactly which numbers I brought. Divide by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Stop. So here I have 7 because I said it's counted on my fingers. 7 times 3 is 21. Do a little subtraction here, gives me 1. Nothing to bring down, so this guy is in remainder jail. 157 with a remainder of 1. 157 with a remainder of 1. I'm going to delete this guy right here. You guys are going to keep him on your paper. I just need to move him where I'm going to have some more room to work. So, on many of your guys' dream box, you have seen where it'll say like 472 divided by 3, and then it's got this giant little thing over here where it says 472 in the middle. Well, and you're just like, Miss Kohler, I don't understand. And I'm like, that's okay, I can help. So, we know that 3 goes into 30 when we times it by 100, right? Or when we times it by 10. I'm betting that if we multiply 3 by something, I can get it to go into 300 because all I'm doing is adding an extra 0, right? So I had a 0, stop it. I have a 0, and I have a 0. So how many zeros would I need? 2, right. So that would give me 3 times 100. So now I could subtract 300. So 300 divided by 3 gives me 100. So right there, it's going to take off 300, and it's going to tell you, it does all the special effects, and it says, this is 300, this is 100, which means you have 172 left over. And you're like, okay, but Mrs. Kohler, that's all fine and dandy, but now I still have 172 divided by 3. What in the world do I do? Aha! Well, when you're counting by 3s, we know that we know how to get to 30, and now we know how to get to 300. But what about all those numbers in between? Watch this. I want to pause, and I'm going to write something out. Hold on. All right. I didn't feel like you guys wanted to watch me write out some really bad math problems here. And they're not bad math problems, it's just bad handwriting. We know 3, 6, 9, 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Now watch this. Now all I've done is added a 0. So 3 times 40, oh, all I did is add a 0. 120. 3 times 5, that's easy, it's 15. 5, 10, 15, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Watch this. Add a 0 to the 5 means I added a 0 to the 150. Now doesn't that 150 look really close to that 170? It sure does. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to say, okay, I don't need 172. I'm going to take 150 of that. I'm going to divide that by 3, and I know that gives me 50. And it's going to go, it's going to give you another big fat red line. It's going to say 150 here, and it's going to say 50 at the top. And it's going to leave you with some math over here that says 22, because it's already doing the math for you. So I'm going to say 22 divided by 3 equals, well, this isn't going to take very long. And again, if you notice, it's because 300, 150 plus 22 equaled our start-off number. On Dreambox, it does the math for you. In real life, it does not, so you just have to kind of break it down as you go, but we started off with numbers we knew. So I'm going to count by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. But that only got me to 21, right? How many more, if I wanted to count, how many more until I got to 22? 1, so there's my remainder. 100, 50, 7, remainder of 1. Did you have to write this down? Of course you did. Do you have to understand this completely? Of course you don't. Do you have to pick one of these methods? Yes. Yes, you do. One of these methods. But that's okay. Alright. So we're going to remember how to cubes it. We're going to do 1,624 shirts need to be sorted into 4 equal groups. How many shirts will there be in each group? So, first, circle the numbers, 1,624 and 4. Next, underline the question. It's part of cubes. Look at the anchor chart. How many shirts will be in each group? Box some action words, equal groups. And the word sorted, because that could mean separate. Evaluate and solve, ES. So, going to move on. So if I know, in real life, if I wanted to draw this out, I would need to put 1,624 in each. If I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 1,624, that would take me an awfully long time. A good way to explain it to a friend would be to be like, hey, I'm going to choose to do 1, 6, 2, 4 into 4 equal groups. I am so sorry my lines look awful. But you know what? Better awful lines and a better education than straight lines and you guys be like, why is Miss Kohler continuing to draw lines all the time? Alright, first number up, the number 1. 1. Doesn't work. Move it over as 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's done. I've done that one. The next number, number 6, starting where I left off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, that equaled out. That was pretty easy. The next number, number 2, 1, 2. Well, we knew that wasn't going to work. Go ahead and mark it off. Move it over as 10, 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Did it. It's done. The last one is this pesky number 4 right here. Well, all of them have even numbers, so I get to start at the top again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's done. Nobody's in remainder jail. So it would be 0, 4. Remember, I'm only looking at one group. There's nothing here, so 0 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's my answer, 406 shirts in each group. Fairly simple, right? Alright, this one you have to write down words and solution. 232 people are driving to a conference. If each car holds 4 people, including the driver, how many cars will be needed? So that means 2 in the front seat, 2 in the back seat. There's your driver. So first, cubes. C. Circle numbers. 232 people. 4 people. Underline the question. How many cars will be needed? Box the action words. Each car. Evaluate and solve. It might have helped if I actually wrote out cubes. Circle, underline, box, evaluate, solve. So that means I would have 4 people in this car, 4 people in this car, 4 people in this car. And I'd have to count by 4s all the way to 232. Miss Kohler, there must be a better way than counting by 4s all the way to 232. There is, Billy. Yes, you can laugh, not out loud. Alright, so I've already done the place value practice. Let's go ahead and do the area model practice. So, area model practice would tell me that I have 232. And I need to split this bad boy up into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal groups. But you know what? That's not always fun. Because you can't just put 3, 2, 3, 0 and it's done. No, the groups have to be equal. So let's work it out like we did before. Let me hit pause and I will draw everything. Alright, so I got my box, 232 and 4. So the same thing is going to apply that we did with the 3's at the very beginning. We know that 4 times, 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, so on and so forth. But we need to think bigger because we're trying to get close to 200s, right? So let's think about it. We know 4, might help if I put it right here, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. If I added a 0 to one of these at the end, which one would be closest to this number? Ah, that 20. That 20 looks oddly suspicious. So if I wrote 4 times 5 is 20, but I wanted that 20 to be a 200. But that 4 has to stay the same because we're counting by 4s according to this guy. What can I turn that 5 into? The difference here is a 0, so what would the difference here be? 1, 0. So I'm going to say, all right, Ms. Kohler, I'm taking away that 232. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to make this 200. I'm going to mark it off. I'm not going to erase it. This is going to be 32. And I'm going to say 200 divided by 4 equals 50 because we proved the math down there. Now we have 32 divided by 4. What do you say to that, Mrs. Kohler? Well, this is what Mrs. Kohler says to it. I'm going to expand my options here. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Stop! I've got a match. So now, I forgot to put my 50 up here. What's my match to 4 times something equals 32? 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5, 4 times 6, 4 times 7, 4 times 8. So when I divide it, I get 8. When I put 50 and 8 together, what do I get? A big old 58. 50 and 8. 58. Yup. Alrighty. I will be nice, and I will do this one in place value mode. Not place value. I already did place value. Long division. Because I know a lot of you like long division. Stop it. Alright, let's count by 4 until we get to closest to without going over. 4. Well, we went over 2. So that doesn't work. 0 times 4 is 0. Divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down. And bring it on back. Alrighty, alright. So, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Well, that leaves me with 5 because it would go over otherwise. 4 times 5 is 20. Gotta subtract. Gives me 3. Bring it on down. And bring it on back. We're dividing again because there's something left down here after we brought it down. 4 times 8 equals 32. We already proved that with this lovely model over here. Divide, multiply. 3 times 4 is still 32. Subtract. Gives me a 0. Nothing to bring down, so I cannot bring it back. 58 is still my answer. Alright guys, once you get that down, you guys can continue. On to your problem set. The page number should be written on the board with all the numbers. Good job guys. Keep up the great work. Bye.